The Painted Veil is a 2006 American drama directed by John Curran. The screenplay, Ron Neisweiner, and it's starring Edward Norton, the great American actor, and Naomi Watts, who plays the fantastic character of Kitty, based on not the 2000, but the ancient book by Somerset Maugham. And it it is based on the Percy Shelley poem "Lift Not the Painted Veil, which those who call life." And so that is that was a great book. I have mixed feelings about this movie. On one hand, I really like that they filmed it, that they
Mm,
are still talking about this author and
mm,
discussing his ideas. Um, I like that. And really, these ideas are about unfaithfulness in a marriage.
yeah.
I think that is an interesting topic. Why it happens, what are the consequences?
Mhm.
Um, I'm going to praise this film, of course, for the acting.
Mm.
Edward Norton, have you ever seen him give a dodgy performance?
No, no, he's great.
Naomi Watts, she always
Beautiful.
is there to perform and do well. Yes, she's beautiful, Jacob, but she's also a fine actress.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Appreciate
So, um, in the book, I appreciated this element. We talk about the book
Yeah.
with Susanna Tarion. Go ahead and check out that video, people, because now, leaving aside Kitty for a moment, I'm going to
Mm,
talk about Naomi Watts and that for a second, but let's talk about Walter. In the book, she's afraid, right? She's
mm,
committing acts of adultery,
mhm,
right? She's married to Charles. They moved to China in the deadly cholera epidemic of China. She thinks Kitty thinks her husband's trying to kill her because she cheated on him.
mm.
I'm not giving away too much, I guess, but I just want to say Walter brings this fear in her that is shown in the movie. At one
Yeah.
point, he says, "I'm going to wring your neck if you don't come over here." And you feel it from Edward Norton. He's quiet, but she's afraid of him. I do like that part.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Kitty is developed though. I
Hmm.
don't feel like this is Kitty's story that is depicted in the book enough. I know I'm aware that adaptations are different, but not this different.
Yeah.
Overall, I guess I'll recommend it, but with reservations.
Well, I'm a little more forgiving, I think, and I don't think that's surprising to you, Ruben, that I'm more forgiving because I love the movie, and I think the characters of Kitty and Edward Norton, right? They play Kitty's Kitty Fane, and then
Walter.
Norton is Walter Fane, right? And so when I started reading the book, I said, wow, they did a really good job with picking these two actors because
Yeah.
they really seem to be these two people. And of course, like Ruben shared, Norton doesn't do anything wrong. I don't think I've seen him do anything bad. And so as the film goes on, there's another character that comes up, and it's Waddington by Toby Jones. Toby Jones does a great job. He's this British agent who works there in China in the valleys of outside of Hong Kong, and he's there really there to get he knows this relationship, and he sees it from afar, but he sees that they're having some turmoil, and they're not getting along, and he has his own relationship that's a little different, right? He's with an Asian woman, a Chinese woman, and that's like, that's the taboo, right? And so you start liking him just because he speaks truth to the Kitty character, and she listens to him, and then she goes into there's a mother superior that she goes to this orphanage, and she works at this orphanage, and you're pulling for her. But I'm gonna have to agree with Ruben though that it doesn't go in depth like the book does, and we know that because I mean, it's a movie. But I do think I love the beauty of it. I was real quick, the beauty of the scenery. The first shot is them in the middle of nowhere in China, going to this rural village. And I go, wow, what a beautiful place. And but the feeling was that she's in the middle of nowhere, and she's with a man that doesn't love her right now because she basically cheated on him.
I feel okay. Yeah, yeah. The cinematography fantastic, and
Mhm.
there's some fine sound elements too. But
Mhm.
In Of Human Bondage, another
Sure.
Somerset Maugham novel that we discussed, is part of the power of it is this idea of not being in control of yourself, of having emotions take over. It's critical that you control your impulses in
Mm,
Of Human Bondage, but
sure.
also in this book. I feel like it didn't explore that enough, not quite enough in this
Mm.
movie, but in the book. So I hate to bring a spoiler because I know you're reading it, but she, I don't think they do it in the movie. She makes an error, having discovered how great. So she does not know her husband is a great man
Yeah.
until she sees him in action in China, as he's serving these dying Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Who have cholera, and he's putting himself on the line and his health to help stem this epidemic because he is a microbiologist, and she sees him. But you really get that in the book. But she goes back and makes an error in the book.
Yeah.
And I really wish they drew that out in the movie, because you feel the emptiness of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And it's that painted veil, that wall. At one point she goes, do you hate, now they do this in the movie and I appreciate it. She goes, do you hate me? And he goes, no, I hate myself.
Wow.
For loving you. And this is his struggle, is that he made a poor decision, or does he, in choosing Kitty, which I just don't.
I love the film though, because you, just like the book, you see that she does start, and then that point when she starts seeing, oh, this is a different man. I didn't know this man, the man I married, and she starts falling in love with him, and it's beautiful. She loves him.
I don't believe the arc in the movie of her though. How does she change like that?
I think she's watching him. She's seeing what he's doing. I think they could have done more. Can I be honest with you? I agree with you on this one. I think they could have done more showing his work. She saw a little bit of it, but this guy was going into the middle of nowhere, helping people he doesn't know, coming up because he's working with I want to say he's not a botanist, but he's working with diseases, right? And he's usually works in a lab, but now he actually has to be a doctor. He has to help people who are sick and so forth, and he has that background. And so she's starting to see that, and she's in the orphanage. But not only that, I don't think she only has to see that, Ruben. I think she is growing as a human being. She's seeing children who are sick. She's seeing people dying, and she's like, wait a minute, I thought the world revolved around me.
But you just got through saying that you agree with me that they don't draw it out more.
They don't. Okay. So I'm gonna agree with you. But now that I'm thinking about it, she does grow, and you do see that growth.
I'm afraid that audiences who see this might agree with me that they don't see that arc enough. They don't see why she changed like that.
That's fair.
Having gone, and they just needed a little more to that, to see that change.
Yeah.
However, I will recommend it because they do enough, just enough from the book to demonstrate him and their relationship a little bit more. I wish they did a little bit more with her, but tell us what you think, everybody. What a great week it has been, examining one of my favorite writers, Somerset Maugham. Check him out. If there's no other book you read, I think Painted Veil is a good way to start. It's not quite as demanding, romance. It's a rather short book, but it really is powerful. So check it out, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.